Minecraft, a beloved 11-year-old game which has been constantly evolving and changing over the years. Update after update, this game has managed to stay consistent and keep a steady player base. Today, in this video, I will be going into depth about my opinions on Minecraft when I started playing and review it overall. I will not be reviewing the Java version of Minecraft since I am primarily a Bedrock player. I have played the Java version of Minecraft. I know they are two separate versions, two separate engines, but in general they are meant to represent the same idea of a game which is defined as Minecraft. And also, just a notice, this video may be long since I am speaking of a very large game. It's 11 years old, so it's pretty old. So yeah, just don't expect it to be like super short. I don't know how long it's gonna be. I just started working on this, so the first thing I'm gonna talk about is the music for Minecraft. I just like to start out saying, what a soundtrack. This music brings back so many memories. It's so nostalgic. I have so many good memories listening to this soundtrack and just playing and enjoying this game for what it is. It really expresses how this game can truly feel at times. This soundtrack is slow-paced, relaxing, very calming, very peaceful. And if you've ever played this game a couple years back, then this soundtrack triggers nostalgia very easily. I have so many good memories and fun times every time I listen to this. Honestly, whoever's watching this video, if you are a player, a veteran of Minecraft or not, just take a second to listen to this soundtrack. I'm gonna be quiet for a second. I love this soundtrack so much. It brings back a lot of good memories for me. It's just a good soundtrack in general. It sounds good. It does its job. It does a great job of emulating the experience of playing the game in terms of sound. So yeah, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Perfectly reflects the game, tone, and triggers nostalgia easily. Has good memories linked to it. It's just an overall good soundtrack. So as you might have seen from the menu when I loaded up the game there back a minute ago or so, the menu is pretty easy and manageable. I'll throw a screenshot up on the screen right now. It was designed for mobile devices, so it's kind of expected for it to be easy. I do have one main gripe with the UI though, and I see a lot of games doing this now, where they'll have a cursor for controller games. Like, what's the point in doing that? That's such a stupid idea. If you have an actual purpose for it, then it makes sense, but it's just such a bad idea to give a cursor to a controller. Like, do you know how annoying it is to navigate around the screen by holding something for like a whole 4 seconds as you just watch it slowly creep across the screen? And this is because the way the games are designed, which is mainly PC in mind, primarily, unless you're Rockstar. That cursor ideology is already implanted into most developers' heads because of the way that they develop their games, which is PC in mind first, and then console, and then mobile last. And Minecraft does this too, which is like pretty disappointing, because it's like, if you ever played the older version of Minecraft, if you didn't know, Bedrock was only ported to PS4 within a year ago. But if you played the version of Minecraft before that, the 4J Studios ported Minecraft, then you would know the crafting was so much better there because they optimized it for the controller. It's just not a good design for consoles. Like, if you're gonna make a game for a console, you should probably optimize it to its best potential. Try to fix your flaws before you release it. But I mean, it isn't that big of a deal since anyways, it still works, it functions, it's just a pain. But it's not that big of a deal, so. Overall though, they could have done better than the generic cursor controller layout. Like, come on Mojang. Come on, you could have done more with this, but you didn't. decide to, but oh well, it works, it's fine how it is, I guess. So, 8 out of 10. So overall, the gameplay is pretty fun. It's Minecraft, so what you would expect, surviving or creating stuff. Creative's creative. You can create whatever you want to, pretty much. The possibilities are endless. You choose how you want to build, what you want to build, and when you want to build. There's a lot of freedom and creativity involved with this game. Who would have thought when it has crafting in the name? But there's also the survival aspect, which is pretty fun too, which is surviving in your Minecraft world. You can play with people on realms or on servers, or even in a local area with LAN. Minecraft Bedrock is cross-platform, which means you can play with other people on other consoles or devices. So let's say your friend plays on Nintendo Switch and you play on mobile. If you guys have a Microsoft account, you guys can play together, or PS4 and Xbox One, or PS4 and Nintendo Switch, or Windows 10 and Nintendo Switch. You can play with whoever you want to, so there's a lot of freedom in that aspect. Java is only limited to just PC players, people who own that version of the game. Servers is also another huge thing. Servers is what it sounds like, servers. You can play with a lot of people online, you can play mini games. Right now, this gameplay in the background, this is Sky Wars. My friend and I are playing Sky Wars and we're trying to win or whatever. This certain server also has prop hunt or hide and seek, build battle or aka just build, bed wars aka treasure wars, survival games. It's self-explanatory. Survival games, you survive, or Hunger Games is what it's called sometimes. Death Run, and that's just one server. There's also Skyblock, PvP, duels on all sorts of other servers. The possibilities on Bedrock, I want to say, are endless, but as of now, the featured servers, they just don't seem like they have a lot to offer, so servers just came to PS4 too. So it's a lot to take in for us PS4 players. We just got servers in Realms. And you know what? Servers are fun. They're good to play, but after a bit you just get like tired of them and you're just like, okay, what do I do now? And that's where Realms comes in, which is also technically a server, but Realms is a server or a multiplayer game of a world that you and your friends can play on together. So let's say normally when you're playing on a world, there has to be a host, right? And if the host leaves, it kicks everyone out because everyone's dependent on that connection to the host. And if that connection isn't there, then you can't play. But with Realms, there's a server that's on 24/7, so anyone can connect anytime, which is very helpful because it's just like my friends can play when I'm not on and I can play when they're not on. It's pretty fun. Also, you can do it over several devices. So let's say, like just the other day, I was on my Realm on PS4 and I had to get off, could do some stuff IRL. When I was done with that, I didn't want to go into my PS4 and I wanted to test if it worked on my phone. So I signed in my Microsoft account on my phone, and guess what? It works flawlessly. So that's a really good feature. I like that they have that as something that legitimately works. It's kind of expected, but I mean, it works, so that's good. You can only add up to, well, technically you can add, I don't know what the exact limit is or the cap for how many people you can add, but on the Realm, 10 people at a time is the max limit. But when it gets to 10 players, it usually becomes very laggy, so I don't suggest doing it. I have just like 8 people on my Realm because I want to keep it small so it doesn't start lagging. But Realms right now on PS4, I don't know if they're like this on Xbox One or Switch or Windows 10 or mobile, but they're very glitchy. Like they mess up sometimes. In order for me to add someone to the Realms, I have to first friend their Microsoft account. And sometimes I might think I already have it friended because we're PlayStation friends, but I don't have them friended, so I have to friend them, and that whole process takes like 10 minutes because everything is so slow at loading. And then I have to close my app because for some reason my Microsoft account doesn't want to recognize that I friended someone new. So once I do that, I open back up Realms and then load into Realms, and that takes like in total that takes like 15 minutes. So we're at like 25 minutes right here, almost half an hour, and I'm just trying to add someone. And then I have to go to add players, which that's actually pretty easy. You literally just go there. So I go to the add players and then I type in their name, because if you try to load all the players at once, the game just can't do it. It only loads like 10 players and then it doesn't work anymore. So you have to filter add them, which is like you have to add them by their name. So that's kind of a pain. But once you do that, sometimes it doesn't even add them. It doesn't even save it. So you have to go through that whole process again, which is just fun, you know? But Realms are a little glitchy right now. I hope they fix some of those issues. Commands don't work on Realms. Sometimes my friend has a map that we're making, and the command blocks in his realm don't work sometimes, so we can't make that server. So that sucks. Realms are very laggy themselves, so that also sucks. They're less laggy on Java, I've heard, because Bedrock can't handle multiplayer that well, but oh well. It works majority of the time, and that's mainly what matters, so it's good. Realms are fun. But yeah, Minecraft's always gonna be Minecraft, you know? If a game has a strong core, it's always gonna be good at its core. You can add all this garbage to the side, make it so trash in every single way, but if it has a good core, then it's good. A perfect example of this is GTA Online, which, guess what, I'm gonna make a review video on that too when the new update for the heist comes out. Shameless plug, but anyways. GTA Online, the core itself is playing with friends, playing GTA but online with friends. But they added so much garbage and the bad frame rates. It's fun to play, but it's just annoying sometimes. Like, at its core, it's a good game, and that's why I still play it, because it's fun at its core. I don't play it because of the frosting on the cake. I'm gonna use that as an analogy. Like, if you don't have enough cake, but you have too much frosting, that's not a good cake, now is it? You need the cake for the cake to be a cake. If you're just squirting frosting everywhere and screwing around, then it's not going to be a cake, it's just a ton of frosting. But yeah, Minecraft does this pretty well because it has a lot of good features. It also has a lot of weird ones like pandas, like one of those used, but whatever. But yeah, it has a lot of good features, a lot of strange ones, but at its core, it's a beloved game. It's always been the same. It hasn't changed that much at its core. It's always the same fun experience when you're going to load up a world. Although, not sometimes, all the time when you're playing different versions of Minecraft, it can be jarring sometimes because it's like it's still Minecraft, but it gives you a different feeling because Bedrock has a larger focus on multiplayer, and Java has a larger focus on just being the original. And the old console version just has a feeling, for me at least, of being good memories because I play that version a lot. But yeah, overall gameplay, I'd rate this 10 out of 10 because its core is still good after all these years. It still allows player creativity to the max. It's fun to play survival even by yourself. So yeah, it's a good game at its core in terms of gameplay. So 10 out of 10. So Minecraft originally started in 2009 by Notch, aka Marcus Persson. He is the creator of Minecraft, and soon after it blew up and became really big in 2010, 11, especially 2013 and 2012. But yeah, pretty much like everyone knows that story. how it goes or whatever. So I'm not gonna go into detail about that. But anyways, Microsoft bought them. I think it was in 2014, might have been 2013. But Microsoft bought Mojang and Minecraft, so Microsoft owns them. That's why like everything's connected through a Microsoft account on Minecraft Bedrock. It's because Microsoft. But Microsoft owns Minecraft, and the lead developer is Jeb. His real name is like Jen something. I don't know off the top of my head, but Jeb is the lead developer now. I'm pretty sure Notch left the company. But anyways, the reason why I have this section is to talk about the past updates that Minecraft has had. If you compare and contrast the past updates and the recent updates, there's a huge difference. Like, from 1.10 and on, the new updates have just been not that good. They've been pretty bad, actually. There are a few exceptions, of course, like 1.16 and 1.13, but besides that, I can't really think of anything that was a giant game changer. Even 1.13 is forgotten sometimes. Like, I frequently honestly forget what happened in 1.15 when I'm like, and then I remember, oh yeah, bees. Was that all there was? Like, was there no more content? Did this not change the core of the game but keep it the same in a way? A good update should change the core enough for it to be enjoyable but not stray too far away. A bad update will either stray too far away from the core of the game, or you'll see this other alternative a lot more. It's very common. It's just like adding a ton of useless stuff that no one actually uses or doesn't add to the core, which can be good and bad at the same time. Like, if you're not adding to the core of the game, then it could get stale, but you have to add for it to be, like, interesting, for it to stay up to date. Adding other features besides the core is good too, but the core is what really matters. But no, anyways, Minecraft recently has just been adding a ton of stuff that's like useless. Like, why do we need this? Why do we need pandas? Why? Why do we need bees? I guess for honey, but they could have done that in another way, like trading with villagers or something. Like, why do we need this stuff? When is it used? Who uses it? Husks are like never used. Same with strays. Like, they're cool ideas, yeah, but do they change up the gameplay in a way? No, they really don't. Whenever you get hit by a husk, it's literally just like getting hit by a zombie, but you have hunger for like 30 seconds or something. Besides that, they're pretty much the exact same, besides sound design and block height and actual look of them too. So, I mean, it's just like the older updates used to do so much. Like when Redstone was added, when Horses was added, when Elytras was added, or were added. Same with the new PvP mechanics for Java that are still yet to come to Bedrock for some reason. I don't understand why Mojang likes holding back with that. I like the Java system of PvP. It's balanced. But anyways, yeah, they did really good with updates in the past. The recent ones haven't been so good. I really hope with 1.17 they really change things up and surprise us, because these few updates haven't been that good. I'm expecting a little more, and I'm not getting a little more, so it's just a shame. But yeah, the past and present of Minecraft development time. The present is pretty bad, but the past is like somewhat bad and also good because it actually changed the game. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So for past updates, I'll put 9 out of 10 because they were doing really good, like perfect. And then after 1.9, they started going downhill. So it's just like a little weird sometimes when you're talking about Minecraft updates because they are all over the place. So what I think Minecraft and Mojang can do better as a whole in the future, what I think they should do is they should try to find and change more of the core of the game but not for every update. I think they should have a pattern where it's like more content, and then changes the core, and then content, and then changes the core. So it's a nice balance of both, you know? So it's not overwhelming to the point where you don't know what this does and what that does. Like I explained in the last part, it's important to have good updates like those to keep the game fresh, to keep it going. Another good example of a game that didn't change its core that much is Siege. It spiked a lot, but now it's dying because no one cares about it. You know why? Because they didn't change it. If you don't change your game, it's going to stay the same. It's going to play out the same. It's going to feel the same every single time. And it's not fun to play if you always know what you're going to get yourself into. Same goes for Call of Duty maps. If it's a boring and bad design, you're always going to have the same encounters every time, so you know what to expect. Minecraft shouldn't be like that. It should be a different experience every time you play it. Not different enough to make you hate the game, but different enough to make it still fun and entertaining, but also different in a way. They should have updates like the cave updates that change how the game is played, like the Nether updates, like Update Aquatic. These are important updates, like with the End too, 1.9, the combat update. That was great, and it's still not on Bedrock. But that was a great update. That is a perfect example of what they should do. 1.9 actually is one of my favorite updates because it has such a good balance of content and changing the core that it's just, in my eyes, it's almost perfect. I know that the combat system was very controversial because a lot of players didn't like how it changed, but I loved it, honestly. I feel like the game needed one because it's just who can click faster or who can hit R2 faster or RT faster on Bedrock. And that's not fun. Who can spam a button faster? What's fun is learning the mechanics of how each weapon works and using them to your advantage. Like on Java, swords, axes, all sorts of weapons, even your fist has cooldowns. Everything has a cooldown. It's slower for a cooldown on the axe, but the axe does more damage, so that makes you think, do I want to use an axe in battle? It does a lot more damage at one hit, but it takes longer to recharge. Or do you want to use a sword, which does less damage, but also has a sweeping effect, which can hit entities nearby, which is also another feature. Like, do you see how many options there are and variety there is to attack your enemy? Whereas on Bedrock, it's literally just smacking your sword, like how I'm doing right now. Or how I'm, on my point of view, when I'm voicing this, my character is smacking a chest. I don't know what it's going to look like for you, because I might make some cuts. But what I'm saying is it shouldn't be limited to the factor that the game limits itself to. Obviously, there's going to be a limit all the time on no matter what you're doing. There's always going to be a limit on something. But this game has so much potential that they need to improve on and like fix and make it more interesting than it is. They have so many options to go with, and they're putting pandas in the game, for crying out loud, and polar bears and bees. Why are there polar bears in the game? No one uses them. Why are there pandas in the game? No one uses them. It's just another forgotten feature. Speaking of forgotten features, though, why doesn't Bedrock have spectator mode? But yeah, that's future development. I'm not gonna rate this part because I don't know what the development is. So in total, is Minecraft a good game? Yes, it is. Of course it is. It's always gonna be Minecraft. In my opinion, there's nothing that can really rival Minecraft because it's such a unique game in itself. I guess you could compare Roblox and Minecraft, but not really because they're still like different in a lot of senses. But Minecraft is a great game. I feel like anyone who plays video games should give this game a try regardless of what your tastes are or not. You should at least give it a try, test it, see what you think of it, play with it. It's a pretty fun game in my opinion. It scores a 37 out of 40, so that's a really good score right there. or more specifically, a 9.25 out of 10. So that's pretty good. Yeah, Minecraft's always gonna be Minecraft. It's a fun game. I like it a lot. I've said this many times, I know. But yeah, Mojang and C418 did a really good job with making the music and developing this game. So I'm really thankful for them making the game. But yeah, this rest of this gameplay is just gonna be like me playing a match or so of Skywars. I'm gonna turn up the music, so I'm gonna take a second to listen and remember all the good memories you've had playing Minecraft, because like, you know, Minecraft equals good memories. So